2:06 p.m. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We now have roll call. Madam Secretary.
Mr. President, we have 6 officers, 9 legislators, 1 advisor, and 1 guest.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We will now review the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, minutes stands approved. We will now move on to the approval of the agenda. Please look over the agenda.
The date on this is wrong. The date, because the agenda has May 2nd on it, and this one has April 4th. So, for the minute.
For information, our last minutes were on April 4th. So this is in the past, right? This was our last general council meeting, okay? This one is for today. And today is May 2nd.
Without objection, we'll call the agenda to stand. We'll now move on to reports. Starting with myself, issues and concerns. We had a meeting last week, issues and concerns. I believe just about everybody was there. It was an extremely productive meeting. I hope will continue to be set in place for next semester and semesters to come. And for everybody who was in attendance, I thank you for being there, addressing the issues. We'll go on to activities, Mr. Vice President.
Mr. President, we don't have anything new to report. We was just studying the activities for the summer. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We'll now move on to budget, Mr. Treasurer.
Mr. President, we have approximately $16,000 in our budget.
Thank you. 16,000. We'll now move on to scrapbook, Madam Secretary.
Mr. President, nothing new to report, but I am having a cupcake bake down. If anybody wants to come, I'm going to start at 7 o'clock tonight, get my number, and come on out and bake with me. Peanut butter cupcake, brownie cupcakes, that's all I have to say.
Are we invited if we do not know how to cook?
Yes.
Move on to publicity by parliamentarian.
Mr. President, General Counsel, I would just like to thank the people who supported me throughout the semester, and we've really accomplished a lot. And even though on some points we did fail, overall we did a really good job. And right after the meeting, we're going to have a short emergency publicity meeting, and it's just going to be what we're going to do for the African Children's Choir. And it shouldn't take more than 20 to 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian. We will now move on to unfinished business. Seeing that there is no unfinished business, we will move to new business. First on the agenda under new business are the elections. With the election, you have the ballots?
Yes.
You have the ballots. We have for our SGA Division Representative, Nicole Beeman. SGA Treasurer, Patrick Wing. SGA Parliamentarian, Catherine Jones and Bianca Reyes. SGA Secretary, we have Mary Seibert. SGA Vice President, we have Carnella Fobbs and Chizova Naruka. And for SGA President, we have Taylor Weber Fields and Tracy Ann Mitchell. We do not have a position for Sergeant at Arms, so please keep that in mind. We are going to need that position filled. So we will start with the speeches, and we will start with the Treasurer.
Hello everybody, you all know who I am. I'm Patrick Wing. I'm currently a legislator with the SGA Club. I'm also running for the treasurer position, which you all know. I do believe that running for the treasurer for next semester, seeing as how no one was taking it up, it seemed like a good idea. I see that working with numbers has been one of my stronger suits in the past with the different jobs that I've held, not only in the military, but after I got out of the military, the several jobs that I had, I was working with budgets and working with ordering and receiving, so numbers is sort of my thing. And so I figured that the position of treasurer would be a good position to run for. I sort of can nix out some of my speech that I originally had, seeing as how there's no one running against me. But please go ahead and vote for me, that'd be awesome.
Thank you. That is Patrick Wing running for treasurer. We'll go on to the parliamentarian speeches, and we'll start with Ms. Catherine Jones.
Sorry everyone, I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. Good afternoon. Y'all know I'm Cat Jones, and I'm running for parliamentarian. I want to thank you in advance for considering me. And as parliamentarian, I will try to strengthen and precipitate the unity among the group of passionate, zealous leaders we have in this room. I'm going to try to keep order with Robert's Rule, maintain the powerful functioning assembly that we have. We have all joined SGA with hopes of making changes and making a difference and becoming good leaders. As you all know, I have the right personality and attitude to be a wonderful and professional parliamentarian. And I try to lead by example and demonstrate effective problem-solving skills. These special qualities, I believe, make me the very person that you're looking for parliamentarian. And I am determined and dedicated to SGA and FTCC, and I hope to hold us together like glue. I don't want anyone to vote for me because we're friends. I only want you to vote for me if you feel that I would be the best person for this position. And I would like to end with a quote. Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your appearance noticed. Just make your absence felt. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. We will now hear a speech by Bianca Reyes.
Hello, General Counsel. My name is Bianca Reyes, and I'm running for the SGA's parliamentarian for the 2012-2013 school year. I've been a student at FTCC for 2 years now and a member of the SGA for 1 year. And during this time, I have learned a lot about myself as a student leader. I've been a motivator, activity planner, and a morale booster who tries to spread happiness wherever to whomever I meet. Furthermore, I advertise our student government on a daily basis. I go above and beyond to ask them what their issues and concerns are and what they would like to see on campus. As a student, I know what my frustrations are, but as a student leader, I'm already a step ahead, and I know I can make it happen. In my time prior to FTCC, I spent 4 years in JROTC, where I learned countless leadership, delegation, and decision-making strategies in my position as a company commander. I've learned how to, above all, maintain order, which is something a proficient parliamentarian has the ability to do. I'm very computer savvy. Other than my Microsoft Office knowledge, I've been doing digital picture editing for about 6 years now, and I love it with a passion. Alongside this passion is a mind that is overflowing with ideas and a very vivid imagination. Being able to take these ideas and put them on a poster that is eye-catching and informative is a crucial role that a parliamentarian should do, and I'm more than qualified to fulfill. I also know many people on this campus, which I believe is important in the parliamentary position because being social and advertising the events is vital for the attendance of those activities. I work well with others, as most of you know, and I have no problem assisting another or asking for help with the task, even though I have planned events on my own in the past with no help. In conclusion, throughout my ups and downs, I can take any situation with stride. Being able to balance work, SGA, and my schooling has not been a simple task, but I made it happen. My promise to you is that if elected to be your parliamentarian for the 2012-2013 school year, I can and I will exceed your expectations. Thank you.
Thank you. If I could have Catherine Jones and Bianca please to rise. At this point, we will do a 5-minute candidate forum. If you have a question for either the candidates, please raise your hand. You will be acknowledged. And you may ask your question. Please keep it brief so that we do have time to speak to every candidate. Thank you. Are there any questions, comments, concerns for either candidate?
Ms. Cat, I know that you have a family, and I know that the parliamentarian position is very demanding, and I was wondering if you feel comfortable with fulfilling that position with your family life as well.
Yes, I've actually discussed it with my family. They know I'm running. And if I were to be elected, they're willing to sacrifice a little more of me so that I can do what I have to do to be a part of this.
Are there any other questions?
This is for Bianca Reyes. Bianca, knowing that you did work a lot with, you said you had a task, will you be able to manage that for fall semester with parliamentary? We actually, who's ever in office actually needs something, will you be able to uphold that responsibility, not just because some events you have attended and it has been to work, but will you be able to uphold that responsibility?
Yes, I will.
Any other questions? I have a question, actually for both of you. Parliamentarian, one of their chief duties is to be the head of publicity. I know you touched on it slightly, but what, have you ever created any type of media to be presented to others, and do you have the capability of your own to produce media on your spare time? Bianca first.
When you say media, do you mean just a flyer or?
Flyers, video, commercials, any other media?
I have done,
Go ahead.
I have done flyers, PowerPoints, handouts. I have not done videos, but I have downloaded Photoshop. I'm more than willing to learn how to use it and how to apply it. And over the summer, I plan to shadow Joe Talarico, which is, he's in media services. He can teach me anything I need to know, about multimedia as far as video goes. So, can I take a look at this?
I do know all those programs that she said. However, I have actually started working on a promotional team to help me because I am not as computer savvy as others. I'm not a techie. I don't do technology. I do human resource. I do public relations, but I'm a very social person, I'm a people person, and I've already begun getting my team together.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
I got a question for both of y'all. With my experience as parliamentarian, I've been dealt with a lot of criticism, even some harsh criticism. How will you deal with it if someone have some not so constructive criticism to your works. Both.
Bianca.
As I said, I can take any situation with stride. Tact is something that any student leader should have, and I believe I mastered that. JRCC, it hardened me, it really did, because before I didn't have self-discipline, but now I did a complete 180, and any criticism is constructive to me, no matter how it's presented. So.
I actually like self-criticism. I like when people let me know things I don't know about myself, because then it teaches me what I need to work on so that I can get better leader.
One more question.
It's for both candidates. As far as your schoolwork going into this year, you're hopefully getting closer to being done. How are you gonna work in your schedule as far as finishing well and being able to master the job as well?
Catherine.
Okay, well, I didn't plan on being an SGA this semester. It kind of jumped out at me, and I was taking a full load, all face-to-face classes, and I have busted my rump to be here for as many things as I could, and show up on time if possible. Sometimes getting out of class, trying to get here is a little hard, but I try not to be any more than 15 minutes late to anything. And for the fall semester, I'm only taking one face-to-face class because of SGA. I took online to make sure that I will have more time on my hands to work with SGA.
Bianca.
Okay, time management is something that I have been working on. It has not been easy because I have a knack to be lazy, but I get my stuff done nonetheless. Have not registered for my fall classes yet because I'm kind of a little lost on that, but it wouldn't be a problem balancing because I'm pretty much doing it now, so shouldn't be too much difference.
Thank you, ladies. We'll now hear a speech from the college transfer representative, Nicole Gibbon.
Alright guys, well, I have a whole letter typed out here, but I don't think that it justifies what I should be talking about. So I'm just going to refer to a couple notes in this letter that I have highlighted and touch base on those. So the reason that I'm running for the college transfer program representative is because I strongly believe that every student has a chance in higher education. I know that, I know that people can be put through hoops and not, it's hard to figure out where to go next after you obtain an associate's here or even just enough credits to transfer. I strongly believe in the education of the students, and I have a vision that all students, no matter what their circumstances may be, are able to achieve the ultimate success, which is higher education. I'm a strong, motivated person. As you all may know, that I can go through some stuff and still get done what I need done. I have served in this SGA for the past semester, nearly the whole semester, and I've had the incredible opportunity of serving with all of you. You all are wonderful people, and I've learned from you all. And one thing that really touched my heart was when we went to the Jubilee House and, did the volunteer work. And I think not only do we represent our school well, but I think that I feel like we did a good service for our community and not just outside of our campus. I think that's wonderful. I love being chair of student issues and concerns, even though I've been kind of put back a couple of weeks. That's really close to my heart. I think we should, I think service and leadership are not the only entities that consist of the school's success. I believe it's the student body, and that body has a voice, and we are the students. And I feel like the graduation rate depends upon us. And the things that this country was built upon was hard work and dedication and change. And I feel like if we apply ourselves to that, we can all achieve that. I believe that every student on this campus, no matter what they're going through, can achieve their degree, their hopes and dreams. I feel like I would be the best candidate for this position because I believe if all the students apply themselves, I believe I can motivate these students to apply themselves. I think I can help them think greater of themselves and help them accomplish things that they only dreamed that they could. I feel like as we get older in our lives, we find things that hold us back, and we think, oh, we can't achieve our bachelor's or master's or even our PhD. But you would be surprised about what some people in their past have done with the circumstances they were dealt. So I believe that it's very important to inspire these students and to let them know what they can accomplish. That's all I really have to say, and I hope that you consider me for this position rather than my opposition. So much, so anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you, Nicole. We will now hear a speech from Madam Secretary, who is running for Secretary.
Good afternoon, fellow SGA, Mr. Daniels, and guests. Y'all know me. I've been the secretary. I think everybody knows I can do the job. I just wanted to say that since I've been in the SGA, I'm a combat veteran, and it was really hard for me to immerse myself on campus. If it wasn't for Mary Erickson and Mr. D, I probably wouldn't be here. The SGA means a lot to me. It's in my heart. And I really love being secretary. And the only other thing I'm going to say, because I have no opposition, is read my lips. We will take first place at the scrapbook competition for next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We will now hear a speech from Carnella Fobbs, running for Vice President.
Before I get started, I just like to pass this around a second. Good afternoon, everyone. As you all know, my name is Carnella Marie Fobbs, and I am pleased to announce that I am running for Vice President of Fayetteville Technical Community College, Student Government Association. Now let me ask you this. What is SGA? The Student Government Association represents all full-time undergraduate students at Fayetteville Technical Community College. The SGA provides an opportunity for all students to actively contribute to the academic and social climate of the campus. Now, let me tell you why I'm the perfect person for this position. First off, I was the youngest assistant manager for a major retail company since the company was established, and that was Family Dollar. I only started working there 6 months, but right after that, during the 6 months of my little probation period, I was offered to be assistant manager. At first, I turned it down, but I felt with all my accomplishments and all my goals that I have, I can take the job. It's nothing. Secondly, I was a shift leader captain for a well-established restaurant chain, and that restaurant was Waffle House, home of the Waffle House. I was there a year and 6 months, as a matter of fact, and I took on that position just by always showing up to work on time. I actually got a certificate. I wish I had brought it with me, but I didn't. I'm sorry for that. But for being on time and being one of those people that, someone can come into work upset, I was always the person they came to talk to. Not because, oh, let's go talk to Carnella about this situation. That wasn't the reason. I like to hear the voice of all people. Everyone has an opinion. In addition, I was an unarmed commander of the Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. That team that I was in charge of was down for 6 years. Because of me, I am still being talked about today, and it is 2012. And remind you, I graduated in 2009. Lastly, I was co-captain for my high school debate team. And trust me, I'm a great debater. Y'all should try me out. And currently the secretary of FTCC's Student Activities Committee with our former Vice President, Mr. Travis Maynard. I feel that these positions have prepared me well for the office that I am currently seeking as your Vice President. My platform as Vice President is not only to get Fayetteville Technical Community College students involved, but my mission is to galvanize students into action by making sure that every student that is enrolled here at FTCC understand that SGA provides an opportunity for them to actively contribute to the academic and social climate of the campus. SGA should set the atmosphere that is the tone for the campus as your Vice President. I will make sure that SGA as a whole can set the atmosphere for the school. My platform is not only to galvanize students into action, but there is no I in SGA. And as your Vice President, I can assure you that SGA will set a great legacy by working together as a team. The secret of a leader lies in the test he faced over the whole course of his life and the habit of action he develops in those tests. Galshini, 1937. If you vote for me as your Vice President, every voice, opinion, hard work, and effort will be heard. Trust me on that one. As Vice President, I will make sure that students at FTCC will not only look at SGA as just another organization, but as leaders, leading by example. You know, I can continue to go on about all my goals and all my accomplishments and dedication and hard work as your Vice President, but the decision is standing right in front of you people. So, I'm going to end this. Vote for me, Carnella Marie Fobbs, as your FTCC Student Government Association Vice President, because my motto is, a change is and will be coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fobbs. We will now hear a speech by Chizola.
Good afternoon, General Counsel and advisors. My name is Chizoba Noroka. I am here today running for the position of Vice President. It is an honor standing here to run for a position of Vice President. Some may wonder why. This should be an honor. When I am not sure I will make it as the Vice President, well, I say it is an honor for anyone to just stand before the SGA, talk more of running for a position. The student government represents an effort to broaden student discussion and representation on all issues. This association is the vehicle through which students can participate in the formulation of institutional policy, affecting academic and student affairs, and collectively expressing their views on matters of general interest to the student body. However, as I was getting my speech ready, I faced the fear of standing here and sounding like every other politician who makes empty promises to win the vote of the masses. But then again, I thought, Chizoba, you can embrace all these fears. All I am trying to say is that, like every other student, I have my fears. Who doesn't? In the same way, I have hopes, my ambitions and my goals. I overcame the fear of being a new student and an international student in a very different environment, and trust me, it's very different. I fought free from the shackles of finding math difficult. I learned how to survive and love every anatomy class. And I must add, I overcame my fear of cockroaches. I can proudly say I see one now and squash it. The Student Government Association represents the voice of students. I believe I can stand for that, the voice. I have been through it all and can relate as much as possible to every student here. To fully clarify, I see being the vice president as being the president's wingman. You are there to execute jobs and duties to a maximum level. With great diligence and strength, you are there to set outstanding examples for the people you are leading. People should always think of you as the go-to person who can help them carry out their problems, as well as help them fix it. I can tell you I'll be superwoman who can do it all, but that would paint me as a very false candidate. I am not superwoman, but I can try and be a pretty good human version of her, with the help of everyone. Finally, I would also love to tell everyone present that the semesters to come is going to be easy. And I'll perform miracles so everything gets done. But I can't. However, I will tell you this again. With everyone working together, we'll have a wonderful semester because we are a unit, as well as a family. I will also tell you this. I am a stickler for the old while incorporating new innovations. Let's not drop everything that defines this association in the fight for new, even though new is good. Therefore, there will be change. But it comes with respecting what has been. And if you choose me for this position, I'll do my best to make you proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. If I could have both candidates to please rise. We'll go into a candidates forum. Are there any questions for the vice presidential candidates?
This question is for both of you. Being vice president is a very time-consuming job. How do you see managing planning events and your schoolwork and your home life all in one?
She's over.
I know, doing most of the job that you're required to do in SGA consumes a lot of time, and you have to have the patience to do that. This past year and this semester, I've been involved with 3 different organizations here in school: SGA, a little bit of SMC, and Phi Theta Kappa. But we just started, and for me to fit that into my schedule, it's been hard. It's not easy to make out time for different activities in your life. But if, like Bianca said, time management, you have to table your time and find out a way that works for you. It's not going to be easy when you start a job. But when you table it out and know that this is the time for this and this is the time for the other one, you're going to get it done. It won't be perfect, but if you have people helping you, you're going to get everything done.
Thank you. Ms. Bobs?
Well, once again, my motto is not only there's no I in SGA, but also team, which together everyone achieves more. I've actually had somewhat of a busy schedule this semester, but with me with time management, SGA comes first. Always has ever since I joined. There was never a time that I've ever put SGA to the side. Not only just because, oh, I want to be the face of SGA. No, I joined SGA not only just to make friends. I didn't join to make friends. I joined because I want to see a change here at Fayetteville Technical Community College. Now, I understand that there are different tasks, and yes, I do attend church, and I'm on choir, and I'm on the praise band team, and I'm in SCC, and STAD, and SGA. But guess what? SGA comes first. Those other tasks, they balance out, and yes, actually, I have a planner. So, anytime I go by my planner, that's what I do. I'm a very organized person. So, I feel like time management for me is not a problem.
Yes.
This is both candidates, because you're a vice president, you're going to be the activities coordinator, you're going to be working with Mr. D. That's where you're going to be in the trenches. Will you be prepared to go to ABCA next year? And will you be able to use your school time to go?
Carnell?
With my school schedule, I plan my school schedule out. I continuously keep changing and changing to make sure my classes fit in, but my schedule is actually clear for fall semester and ABCA. And actually, mentioned, like I said, I'm right now a former secretary of the activities committee with our former vice president, Mr. Travis Mayer, and, you know, we kept it on top. There's been ups, there's been downs, but being over the activities committee, I feel like I will be just fine with just being over it, because me personally, I know how I want things done, but I also like to hear everyone else, how we should do this, and if this makes it better for this, can we do it that way, or do you want to try this? It's not just me by myself, and not only that, it's the voice of the whole SGA, even though it's the activities committee and it's separate from the general council meetings, we still voice how we feel, so it's a teamwork effort. Yes, I will be over it, but I'll still be the one who's over it, but still have teamwork with my team, so yes.
Did she answer your question?
Actually, no. Because ABCA does take a whole week. It takes a lot out of you. And I don't mean to be rude or anything, but we have ABCA and then we have the N4C SGA conference. And I'm just saying, it's going to take a lot out of you, because you have no idea unless you've been to ABCA how draining it is and how important it is for you to have that decision. So I'm letting you know right now, you need to be able to go to ABCA, and then you need to turn around and go to the N4C SGA conference, and you need to rock it. So are you prepared for that?
Yes, I am very well prepared for that.
Then I believe the second part of that question is, are you willing and able to work with Mr. D?
I am, very much so. Let's work with
Have that
Mr.
personal
Yes.
relationship.
Yes, very much so.
To start off, before I get to that part, working with Mr. D is working with Mr. D. He's an open door person. You go in, and if you have a problem, he's like a second ear, if that even exists. Third ear. For the actor, I know a lot of people know, because of the kind of family I have, it would seem like it would be difficult to do that, but I'm working on that. I'm not going to always be in, there's a reason my situation is how it is. There's a reason. But if I get everything down how I want it to work out, it's going to work out, and I can do that.
So Vice President, then Ms. Jones.
I know we always talked about see if you can spare like 2 hours a week for SGA. Actually, it's more time than that. Okay, this is like a 20-hour-a-week job. Okay, not only for SGA, but what SGA stands for, the students. Okay, so you got to be able to mingle with the students and whatnot. Put aside time. I know classes are very important, but as well, how many hours are you dedicated to put aside for SGA? Not saying, oh, I have to go to work, or I have to go write this paper, or, you know, I know you're saying like prioritizing your time, but when it comes down to it, these activities, if your legislators are not there, you got to be the one to step in and say, okay, we got to get this done. Last minute situations. How can you cope with that?
She's over.
Like I say, teamwork. If we have better organization, and really it's better organization, because everything builds on how you project what you do and how people see you. If you project a situation in a way that people know she means business and this is supposed to be done, you see people come in to help you regardless. That extra time you put it out to take out for that thing, you see you have free time instead of that time using it to do the other thing you're supposed to do. It's just a matter of managing everything that you're given.
Thank you. Ms. Bobs.
With managing time, as far as being the secretary, I always stay on top. There's been numerous times, and our former vice president knows, that I will call beginning of the week to prepare for the whole week. Yes, it is very time consuming, but I've spent more than 2 hours in the SGA office, and I have no class on Friday. I still come up here to dedicate my time to SGA because there are things that need to be done. Not only that, as far as the activities committee team goes, I hear everyone's opinion, if everyone has anything they have to say, or as far as, oh, you know, KK, I didn't get this out at the activities committee, but can you let Travis know? There's been numerous times that our former vice president has I'm in the club now. No, I didn't join it for that. I am all about business. A lot of people have seen that, and there has been a tremendous change from my previous years of being in a leadership role. I'm all about change. I'm all about new things. If we're on a task, I'm the one who's like, look, let's start on this task. Let's finish this task first before we can jump on this one. We can't jump on the task if we're not finished with this first one. Let's all work together as a team. Yes, I understand the teamwork part, but also being over something, it is a lot of time. It is time consuming, and yes, it does get stressful, but guess what? That's why you're in this position. That's why you're a leader, to lead by example.
Thank you, Ms. Fobbs. We'll go to our final question for our Vice President, Ms. Jones.
This is actually for just Shazoba. I know me and you talked, and like you said, your family, you got together, and me and you were worried about our grades. So grades are very important to us. We want them to be where we want them to be, no matter what clubs we're in. And we're in the same clubs, so I see you around. And I know you're a dedicated person, but do you feel that your school and your being a student and being that top student that you're looking for might put too much stress on you trying to be vice president?
That's a tough one. But keeping your grades up, like everybody that knows me knows that I'm that anal about my grades. I really am. I know a lot of people, sorry to put it like this, but a lot of people really don't care about their grades, but I care about it. And it's something I've tried, like this semester I think has been the most tasking in everything because I've had more than a full load this semester. And getting to this point, I'm looking at how good I did on my grades, and with every other thing I've had to do, I've done good. I've done good. Like, I can count 1,000,001 people that can't be at where I am, and I'm not being egotistic or anything, but I've done good. Like, with everything I've had to do this semester, my first semester here, I did nothing. I came to school, went home. From home to school. And I really didn't have any activity. I never used to have stuff to do in school. I always used to be books or hang out with my friends. But I've tried to like curb my life in a way that I want something to come out of my life. And the things I put, things that matter to me, SGA, Phi Theta Kappa, SMC, the things I've put are things that are going to drive me to where I want. Yes, it's going to be hard. There's nothing easy in the world. It's going to be hard. And for you to be able to balance your schoolwork with every other thing, you are doing amazing.
So you're not worried about the stress?
No.
Think you can handle it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, ladies. We will now go to our presidential nominees. And we'll start with Taylor Weber-Fields.
Good afternoon, SGA family, advisors, and guests. I would like to start my speech with an old African proverb that I read, and I thought it kind of went along with my platform. It says that a family is like a dense forest until you're inside and you can see the trees and their branches. My name is Taylor Weber-Fields, and it would be an honor for me to serve as your president of the student government of FTCC for the 2012-2013 school year. It is my hope that by the end of this speech, you will agree that I have a vision for this association, the best vision for this association, one that seeks to shine a light on each person's individual talents and development so that they may realize their full potential within the comforts of the SGA family before stepping out into the larger new world. By employing the talents of each individual, we can build a strong foundation that is fortified with our level of confidence, firstly in ourselves and then with our contributions to our association. We are college students, and at this stage in our life is mainly a preparation for the greater demands of the wide world. In my time as a part of the SGA, I've already gained an extreme amount of appreciation for what this organization has to offer. In regards to how I work in groups, I have gained much insight. As it relates to organization skills, I have developed mine further. In reference to problem solving, I have solved many problems. In pertinence to relationships, I have cultivated many. Being a part of this SGA family has been an enriching experience that I will always cherish. I have taken initiative with several projects where I saw a need. I have been an ear to listen where there is a mouth that wants to speak. I have been a hard worker and supporter of nearly all SGA events, and I have also fulfilled every requirement of what it means to be an SGA legislator. By carrying myself well, not succumbing to negativity, remaining headstrong while foot soldiers took a break, I have embodied and painted myself to be the paradigm of what an SGA legislator should be. None of these opportunities were handed to me. I sought them out because I knew the difference that I could make. I knew there was work to be done and that I could be the one to do it. But without my knowledge of self and the awareness of my surroundings, none of this could have been achieved. I would not be able to reach out to others or be of any use to this association if I did not already know how I could be useful. It is my sincere belief that every person is born with an ability that they can make a living off of. I believe that it is a person's birthright to exercise that ability so that they are able to use that skill whenever the time comes. It took many years for me to recognize my ability. Through heavy meditation, workshops, self-help books, artistic expression, and life experience, I have come to realize that my greatest asset is that I am able to assess the needs of people beyond a superficial level. When it comes right down to it, I'm the person that would rather seek the very core of someone before making an assertion about them or asking anything of them. Acknowledging the personal needs of each individual is truly the best way to reach them. All a person ever wants is to be acknowledged for their existence and appreciated for what they have to offer. I will take this time to say that I acknowledge each and every one of you for those talents that are within you. You as an individual are a vital part of this organization. Without any one of you, we hurt. Without your ideas, your determination, your talents, or your goals for the future, this student government would not be. Thank you. In my observations, there are members that are underutilized as well as members that are overutilized. As a result of these two extremes, there are instances where people are feeling left out or unheard. There are also members who feel overworked and don't know with whom to share the load. With all the work to be done and all of the talents at our disposal, there is no acceptable reason why this should be. The work can be evenly distributed to each individual according to their strengths. As your president, my first plan of action would be to identify the strengths of standing members and future members through self-evaluations, peer evaluations, and even workshops that will help us to recognize our strongest attributes so that we will know what our best contributions to the group are. I would then see to it that everyone was being placed in a role that was first, most beneficial to their development as a person, and secondly to the SGA. As your president, I would make sure that every person was held accountable for their contributions, because I believe that people are at their best when they believe someone is watching or if someone is counting on them. I see this as a way to build trust between our group members, seeing as we will be reliant on each other to ensure that certain tasks are carried out. Another goal as your president would be to promote a sense of unity that we would explore through different outings, activities, and get-togethers that will relieve us of some of the strain of being the outgoing, overachieving individuals that you are. Besides, let's face it, all work and no play makes for some dull people and a stressful environment. I've developed a genuine love for this group of student leaders. There is so much personality, pizzazz, and potential that I admire every day that I'm with you all. I see where we are strong and I see where we are weak. Where we are strong, I want us to maintain and keep up the great work. Where we are weak, I want us to face it head on because we know, and face it full on and without fear, because we know that working to amend those weaknesses will be well worth the effort. The first effort, though, will be in recognizing our self-worthiness and then our group worthiness. Elect me as your leader because I am the best candidate. I have already begun the hardest journey that one will ever take. The path to self-discovery is paved with landmines and potholes, but if you allow me to, I can help you to navigate them more easily and maybe even show you a shortcut or two. It is this self-awareness that has catalyzed my growth as an artist, a student, a leader, and a person in general. This journey, though treacherous at times, is fundamental in the development of individuals. For how can one be of use to another if they know not first how they can help themselves? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. We will now hear a speech from Ms. Tracy Ann Mitchell.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tracy Ann Mitchell, and I am your current Sergeant at Arms. I'm here today running for the position of President of the SGA for the year 2012-2013. Why should I be President? This is a question I asked myself before I made this decision to run. I could give a very static answer and say I'm best fit for this job, but you are only as best as you think you are until you are put into a position that you have to do, until you are put into a position that you've never done before. Being an effective leader doesn't mean you have to be the most outspoken person. To me, it means being able to follow, take advice when given, and one most important trait is being able to listen. All of these traits I believe I possess. As President of the SGA, I will do my very best to make sure that the issues and concerns of the students are taken very seriously, and also to get to a wider population of students. For example, instead of just being in the Tony Rand Student Center, we will change locations at least every 2 weeks to make and set up our tables in the other buildings, even as far as the health technologies building. This way, we can get to students that do not normally have a reason to come over to the student center, and they can still express themselves and have a voice on campus. I also wish to implement an officers' workshop, which will take place before every semester and at the end of each semester. This way we can plan out our upcoming semester and reflect on our semester to make each semester the best that we can. I believe that this, along with dedicated membership, will help us have a more organized and well-developed SGA. There is so much I can say that I want to do for SGA. Making a list is simple, but taking the initiative to make that list come to life is what counts the most. Being the oldest of 3 siblings, I can say that I definitely know what it takes to be a leader, because that is what my life entails. Being the leader that my younger sisters can look up to and also is proud to call their sister. I will make a disclaimer though. I'm not perfect and I will not try to be. I will make mistakes, so bear with me on that level. We are all human. The greatest of leaders can admit to mistakes, because those mistakes make them human and are better able to lead us efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now have our candidates form of the presidential candidates. Both candidates will please rise for questions. Are there any questions?
I only have one question. Are you willing and able to ask for help when you need it from anybody?
Just to both of them.
Oh,
Definitely. I think everyone's well aware that this is my first semester in student government. As a president, that's a big role, and I understand that I'm gonna need help, and I'm not afraid to ask for it. I'm humble enough to ask for help. I know when I need it. I'm honest enough with myself that I can be honest with you all and know, hey, I'm falling a little short. Can somebody help me out? Can you help me, show me how to do this? So I'm more than willing to ask for help. Yes.
Yeah, I am willing to ask for help, as most people might think. I like to do stuff by myself. I like to start stuff early. I'm not one to sit around and wait. But if it comes down to it, I'm willing to open up and say, I really need help.
this. I'm not gonna play superhuman, because I'm not.
Ms. Jones? have a question?
For both of you, what stands you apart from the other that should make me vote for you to be my president?
Tracy?
I think that I don't want to use this, but yes, I have been in SGA for a while, and I am an officer. I already have an insight on what goes down behind all the general council meeting. And also, I think that because I'm not as outspoken as Taylor, people will see me and think that, oh, I don't know about that one, but when they really get to see that I'm not the person that you can walk all over, they'll be surprised, and then that will create greater respect for the person that, you know, she's not gonna really be, oh my gosh, this is what you need to do, but she's gonna approach you in a softer manner, but don't cross her.
Taylor?
It's hard to say what exactly separates me from Tracy. I don't know her very personally to say, you know, this what makes me different, this would, you know, but from what I've seen, I think with me being a newer person, I have fresh ideas. I have a strong, I can't say what's separate, I can only talk about me. I'm very strong-willed, I'm a very strong individual. I care about this, I'm very passionate. I can't do anything halfway. That's just not me. I have to go in all the way. And I think it's my passion. My passion, it's inward and it shows on the outside also. I think that's my best thing. I'm very passionate. So.
Was there another question before? Nicole?
This is for both of you guys. I'll do it first, but how would you, since you already kind of addressed it, but as far as students' issues and concerns goes, next semester, the whole new semester, and I feel like personally for me, I think we need to do a lot next semester with that. How would you go about student issues and concerns, and what kind of like tasks would you implement to try to reach out to the students more?
Reaching out to the students has definitely been like pulling teeth. I mean, I was with you when you opened up that book, that people, they don't want to express their opinions, or somehow they don't think that their opinion matters. I think we have to show them. I think we need to be more vocal about our meetings too. If people know that there's open invitations to our SGA meetings, then they'll come and they'll tell you right at the meeting, hey, this is my problem. So I think if we publicize our meetings more, I know we videotape our meetings, why not show them on campus, you know, something like that. So that people know we're out there, we are working to their benefit, so, yeah.
As I mentioned in my speech, I plan to go to other buildings. We're always in this building when it comes to issues and concerns, or out in the front of this lawn, but there are other buildings and students in the other buildings. We don't know if they are more willing to express what the students on this side aren't. So if we go over there, get a new look on new students, get their opinion on things, I think that will help boost issues and concerns. And if they see that we're taking the time to come, not stay out inside in front of our door, but go to theirs, they'll say, okay, they really care about us. They really want to hear our voice.
Question by the Vice President.
All right, ladies. Being president position is a stressful situation. How would you utilize your chain of command? I know everything falls on the advisors, but the advisors has other tasks they have to complete too. How would you make your officers accountable for not following through with the task?
Tracy?
I was thinking about something like that last night when I was at home, and I said that everybody needs to take responsibility for the upcoming semesters. If you messed up, if you aren't willing to say I messed up, then that's just on you. But if you do your job right, I was saying that we should start calling people out. Say that you did this, and even if it wasn't their job and they took the initiative to do it, acknowledge them. That makes people want to do more. And that's just one way I plan to approach it.
with Tracy completely. I think it's a matter of going to that person and pinpointing them, hey, this messed up, that's your job, why didn't it get done? Point blank. And holding people accountable. And it's not after the second time, the third time, no, it's the first time it happens and I hear about it, I'm gonna come straight to you. What happened? And we go from there.
How will you utilize your chain of command as far as your officers?
Tracy?
In what situation?
Meaning like, okay, given a task, you ask your officer to do something, pretty much they delegate the position to somebody else. And then who will you pretty much get on if that task was complete?
The officer, because it's originally their job. Who they delegate that to, that's on them. But if they mess up, I'm going to them first. Then they could talk to the person and say that you really made me look bad, and that's not a good thing.
She answer your question?
Yeah, okay, chain of command. I think something, I think our officers are visible, but I'm not sure how much more visible they are outside of this room. We see them at the front table, so okay, that's officer, that's officer, that's an officer. I think we need to put the faces out there more. This is the sergeant at arms. This is what the sergeant at arms does. Go to the sergeant at arms for this. This is the parliamentarian. If you have a problem about this, you need to go to the parliamentarian about this. We need to be more. I think the jobs, if they're outlined better and people are more aware of what each person is supposed to do, then they'll know who to go to. And I won't be dealing with, you know what I'm saying, problems that could have been solved at the sergeant at arms level. You know what I mean? So.
Nicole?
I have three kind of questions for both of you, and it addresses what you guys just talked about. One, with student issues and concerns, would you guys be willing to further the meetings that Travis and Brian have started that have actually been very productive?
Tina?
Definitely. I think we actually even talked about our issues and concern meetings. We kind of combine them with student issues and our own issues. I want to separate those meetings because we get pretty passionate when we start talking about our internal issues. And I want to separate those meetings so that we can deal with students' issues, give them the time that they deserve, and also deal with our own issues. So I would definitely keep those meetings going.
Yes, I would, most definitely too, as Taylor said. The issues and concerns, that's one of the most important things of the SGA. We are the voice of the student. So if we aren't fulfilling that job, then what are we doing? Like that's definitely important.
And my second thing was, one thing I could maybe suggest to you guys from a military standpoint, you know, because my husband's a sergeant, but maybe to have the legislators or the officers be accountable, you could write them counseling statements, possibly. So, and then my third point was the Constitution. I'm guilty of this. The first time I ever read the Constitution was last night. Please don't look at me. Laughing at myself. But I think that when a legislator is sworn in, would you guys be willing to implement the fact that they need to at least be aware of what the Constitution says?
Before they're sworn in.
Yes.
Because when you take the oath, it says, I'm going to uphold the Constitution. How am I going to uphold the Constitution if I don't know what it is?
Yeah.
So once you get done with that interview, if I'm like, okay, here, why don't you mull this over? And if you still want to be in it, then you come to my meeting and I'll swear you in.
Tracy?
That's a good point, and it has been an issue where legislators come in and they're like lost. Like, what do we say? What is right? What is the right thing to say in the meetings? What can I or cannot do? So that would definitely be in consideration and be a must for next semester.
Mary Cyber?
I have one more quick question. It's only going to take 1 or 2 words, and I don't want an explanation from both of you. What is your biggest issue? That's the first thing. When you hit the ground running as president, what is going to be the first issue that you address?
It's going to go to Tracy first, but I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to think about that, because that is something you have to think about. Go ahead.
Organization.
I'd have to say, organization in the sense of us. Like, I think we need to get us in tags before we can move forward. So.
because they are president, I will take 3 more questions. Patrick?
This question is posed to both of you. As presidents for the next semester, there's been a few things that I've personally seen that I haven't said anything about, but I will say them now. As officers of SGA, it is not only our duties, but your privilege to be the people, be the face of SGA, and to sort of take the reins on all the topics and subjects and activities that we do as a group, as a club. But one thing that is hindering my decisions on whether or not to be a member of SGA next semester, on some things that I've been thinking about recently, is whether or not this thing that we have called the Constitution is being upheld. And I've seen many times where the Constitution has been put aside based on popular opinion at the time for the function or whatever was going on at the time. Popular opinion overrode the Constitution, and people were doing what they wanted when they wanted. That Constitution is there for a reason. It's our founding footsteps for everything that we do. So that's sort of something that needs to be upheld as officers. That's our job. How will you handle that if something happens? That people want to do something and it's not following the Constitution.
Honestly, that's all I got is the Constitution. I mean, I'm brand new to this, so that's what I'm gonna have to go off of. If you start off with your presidency with the Constitution, you're setting the tone right there. So if I start off with the Constitution, I'm gonna end it with the Constitution. So that's how I'm gonna do it.
Starting off with the Constitution is good, but we also have to realize that change isn't a bad thing if it's not negative. We can go by the Constitution, but if there's something in there that what if we want to do something that the Constitution doesn't have in there? Are we going to say it's wrong because it's not in the Constitution? So we can go by the Constitution, but not only live by that.
Well, no, I was probably a subject approach for a later meeting, but I was talking about actions that are directly going against things put in the Constitution.
Okay, well, we'll definitely deal with things. It has, over the past semester, things have gotten a little out of hand, so that's one thing we definitely need to take a stand on for next semester, telling people that they're wrong and letting them face the consequences for it when they do wrong. So yes.
Is there another question?
I would say that it's a question, but like I just had to put it forward. Being president, you're showing all of us under you the way. And showing all of us the way I get that a president's job is a lot. I get that. Because they have a lot in them, school, and SGA, and whatever else they have in their schedule. But there's one thing I would like. The thing is, if you're doing a job, there's a difference between you have too much on you and you're putting your job on someone else. There's a difference. I get that Travis agrees with chain of command. I get, like, we should have a chain of command, because if the government didn't have a chain of command, we would be in a lot of mess. I get that. But then, with the chain of command, I feel like if you're leading us, we shouldn't have to pick up under you. Like, I don't know how the word is.
Is there a question posed?
It's a question.
Okay, go ahead. Good question.
How would you carry out the stress of it, more like, with all the things you have on you? Like, I don't know how to put the question, but if you get what I'm trying to say, how would you deal with that?
Tracy?
Well, for those of you who have been here for the whole semester, you've seen that when I get something, I do it.
do get it done. I don't depend, I don't like to depend on other people to get things done. But I can make exceptions for group work. If it's supposed to be done as a group, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. But if you are going to pull me back, I will go ahead and do it. So, time management, I always plan my stuff out. If I have schoolwork, I know that's coming first, but I'm gonna get it done and start working on what I have to do for everything else. So that's no problem.
Taylor?
I think I touched on this in my speech, well, it's mainly what it was about is there's so much talent and there's so much strength within this group. I feel that there's a lot of people, I think everyone here wants responsibility. I think one of my tactics or one thing that I would definitely use would be delegation. If I know that you're good at doing something, I'm gonna ask you, hey, can you do this? I think that just makes for, I think that if we're all doing our part, then it doesn't have to be stressful. I really think that. I know that it's a hard job. I don't undermine that at all. But I think it doesn't have to break your back. It doesn't. So.
I will pose the final question. It's not, unofficially, to me, it seems as though there is a Taylor Carnella ticket and a Tracy Cheeseover ticket. Since we are voting separately, Tracy, if you have to work with Carnella and Taylor, you have to work with Cheeseover, how are you guys able to, and what is your relationship of working with somebody that I don't know if you're too familiar with? We'll start with you, Taylor.
Me and Cheeseover, we have high aspirations for our lives. I think we definitely share that in common. I think that's the level that we bond on. I think that we both take business seriously. I'd be more than happy to work with Cheeseover. I think our visions are set the same way, and I think we know the seriousness of SGA, and we appreciate SGA, and we would get the job done.
I think the same with me and Carnella. We did have a little bump in the road, but it really didn't became this big thing. We got over it, we got past it, and we're good now. So I think that because Carnella is very dedicated and she's very organized and she gets stuff done, I believe that same trait is within me. So I believe that we would make a very good team.
Thank you, ladies. We'll hear from our advisor, Mr. Dan.
I just want to commend everybody on the quality of your speeches today and also the quality of the questions. I mean, that was very good. I know that you're going to give due consideration to each of the candidates. One thing I want you to understand, and I did put this in the email that I sent out yesterday, when the end of the semester is over and grades post, if a candidate that was elected is below a 2.5, they will not be able to serve as an officer. Okay? I don't expect that to happen, but I want you to know that that's in the Constitution and bylaws. The other piece that's there is that you must be enrolled for 9 hours, minimum 9 hours to serve on executive council. That's in the Constitution and bylaws. We cannot waive that. With regard to the presidency, the president must have their schedule clear to attend the board meetings. Mr. President here can share, if he'd like to, just a brief bit about that, what that expectation is. But Dr. Keene and the Executive Council, but also the Board of Trustees, want to see the President be an active part of the Board of Trustees. They're a non-voting member, but they do have the opportunity to speak during the meetings, and they want to hear from the SGA. They do not want the SGA to be a silent partner, whether they want the President to be a silent partner. And the last point I want to make is that when you elect the Vice President, you must keep in mind that if something were to happen where the President is unable to serve, there's no expectation that will happen from either one. But life happens, and sometimes because of family issues, family emergencies, a whole host of things can happen. And just keep in mind that the person that you elect as Vice President would need to ascend to the presidency. So as you consider the voting that you're going to be doing, keep those 3 or 4 issues in mind. That's all I needed to say, but if you would like to just speak, Mr. President, just a bit about your relationship with the Board of Trustees and your role there.
As president, it is extremely important that you do have time set aside not only for matters of SGA meetings, committee meetings, but also the Board of Trustees. Speaking with Dr. King, he has expressed that for me being president, and previous president, he had seen him in the Board of Trustees, and he commended me on being at the meetings as well as other meetings on other Board of Trustees. And so it is very important that we are at those meetings and representing SGA, because as a president, we are the voice of the students. Having a good relationship with the Board of Trustees can get things done very quickly because they are the ones who micromanage everything on campus. So having their ear is a great plus, not only for the school, but for our organization. So if there's anything that you need done, you already know who it is that you're going to be speaking with. So making sure that you attend those meetings are extremely, extremely, extremely important.
Mr. President, third Monday, the times that you normally...
Yeah, they're the third Monday of every month. Few exceptions, like in January when we have a holiday on the 3rd or something like that. But they're at 2 o'clock. We have lunch, really good lunch, catered. So they're worth going out to.
So from noon until...
Well, if you they do committee meetings. Those aren't mandatory to go to. For myself, I had class in the mornings, so I couldn't make it to the committee meetings. But yeah, from noon until 1 o'clock, they have lunch. I'm sorry, the meetings are at 1 o'clock. From noon to 1, they'll have their luncheon. Then from 1 to 2, and they don't take too long. But you get to get some great insight about the college. A lot of people don't get to know. Everybody has their ballots. If you have not already, go ahead and make your choice. The parliamentarian will pick up the ballots and count them. And while that's going on, we will continue with the business of the day. Go ahead and fold up your election ballots. Our advisor, Mr. D, and our parliamentarian will count them. Hot dog hamburger. And then while they're counting, we'll continue with the information. African's Children's Picnic is going to be tomorrow at 5:30 at the Marriott Hotel on Skyler Road. Our open mic. I'm sorry, it's the Town Place Suites Hotel, 1464. Everybody has this sheet here. It's the African Children's Choir agenda. It has a list of everything that's going to be happening. We've got responsibilities that we have and the amount of people needed. And everything needed. So look over this. May 3rd, which is tomorrow. We gotta move the tables to the hotel, for the plates, cups, napkins, all that good stuff. Mr. D and Coach are gonna be the ones flipping burgers and rolling the dogs. So there'll be plenty of food for everybody. We have our ticket invitations that will be given to you guys shortly. You just have to briefly speak, and then we'll be handing those out to you. The African Children's Choir Picnic is sort of a reward. So if you haven't been attending regularly, if you haven't been to the best behavior of SGA, that is the only way you won't be able to go. Pretty much, we'll have your little invitations very soon. Open mic is tomorrow, 11 to 3 in the gazebo. We're going to do the same thing we did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It is going to be important that we have this set up. We're going to need people here 9:30, 10 o'clock, so that we can make sure that everything is set up, chairs, the musical equipment, and Carnella's going to be the one hosting it, so go ahead, Mr. President.
SGA, guest, y'all are welcome to come set up. I know we got this African Children's Choir picnic tomorrow. It says four is needed. And really we need 4 for the open mic. You know, it's all day. It's gonna be like a 4 hours. It's fine. You know, but I'd like for you to show up at least around like 9:30. You know, and then shutting down for like 30 minutes too as well. Make sure everything's put away. We have any sound, make sure that's going back. Oh, shut down at 3 o'clock. Okay, appreciate it. So please, at least 4. I mean, it could be 6, but we got to utilize. You know, we need at least 4 people. I'll say 6 for to help set up the picnic.
Right, and there are the sheets to sign up in the office. Yes,
When is the open mic? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
From
11 to 3. The YMCA Family and Friends Day, we have our posters up, and we also have the little flyers that we're going to need everybody to pass out starting tomorrow. Family and Friends Day is 3 o'clock on Sunday, 3:30, 4:45 to 7:45. To 7:45. We're going to need everybody who is able to be out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to shake. We got volleyball, basketball, swimming. If anybody wants to swim, I'll be bald by then, so I'm going to be swimming. And that is it for those announcements. 4:45 to 7:45. We'll go on to announcements. I'm going to suspend the announcements for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and present this month's Member of the Month. Last month, we started off and Taylor was our SGA Member of the Month. After deliberation, we have chosen our second Member of the Month of April. This award is going to a member who has shown exemplary talent. The Executive Council decided on this person, and I will read the inscription that they will get. This award is presented to the SGA member who has dedicated time and energy into helping the organization fully and without question. Without the hard work and dedication of people like you, this organization would not be what it is today. There is an inscription that reads, who is wise? He who learns from everyone. Who is powerful? He that governs his passions. Who is rich? He that is content. Who is this? Nobody. And that is a quote from Benjamin Franklin, first President of the United States. And it is my honor to present this month's SGA Member of the Month to Ms. Bianca Reyes. She will be getting the certificate to keep with her. This will go in the SGA office. Along with our Subway $15 gift card. So, to Bianca, congratulations. Again, open mic is tomorrow, 11 to 3, African Children Picnic tomorrow. African Children's Choir, they're going to be here May the 4th. They're going to be here at 7:30. It's going to be a treat for everybody. We're going to need people to set up for the African Children's Choir. And I know you guys are going to want to play with them anyway, because they're, little kids. I mean, not play with them, hang out with the little children, because, hey, they're kids. Again, the Global Education Committee is going to be there. The SGA picnic, that is going to be our final hoorah. I believe everybody has, penciled in what they're going to bring. We're actually going to turn that into kind of an inaugurational ball. So everybody who gets elected today, you're going to have a chance to give a little inauguration speech. Everybody dressed real nice. It's going to be kind of like a little whoop-de-doo shindig. So it's going to be kind of a regal-esque party, okay? And then, of course, graduation is going to be May 17th. Congratulations, everybody, graduating. I'll be speaking at the graduation, so pray for me on that. And before we hear the announcements of the new elected officers, no, one more second. If you all don't know, today is Secretary's Day. So to the secretary of the world, our Secretary of SGA, Ms. Mary Seibert, you all may applaud at this moment. She does a tremendous job representing you all with the minutes and all the last minute crap that I give her. So to her, I am extremely thankful. So Ms. Mary Seibert. Card and riddle skittles. Thank you, Mary Seibert, our SGA Secretary. My personal secretary, or the EVP, Executive Aide to the President, Ms. Bianca Reyes, who has helped me out so much through the Vice Presidency and the Presidency. These ladies, thank you so much. Bianca. And lemon heads, because I'm a sour guy. And to Carnella Fox, she is the Executive Aide to the Vice President, a AKA Secretary KK. Please, come on. Everybody knows behind a great man is a great woman. And next semester is going to be behind some great women, probably going to be more great women because SGA has been ran by women forever and ever. Thank you so much on behalf of Travis May.
Oh. Wingman.
And now we'll be able to hear the results of our newly elected officials. This is the first time since I've been in SGA that I hear there's no tie. No tie at all. So, can I announce it? Is that okay?
I am going to say something important, but...
Is that right?
If you go to parliamentary,
Parliamentary? Okay. All right. Parliamentary is going to go ahead and give us our elected results.
and the main reason for that is because the results will remain, you cast a secret ballot, the actual tabulation is going to remain secret. We're going to put a hit out on Marcus if he ever tells what we're doing.
Well, before I say the results, I want to say this. Whoever wins the position, one, if you ran against a friend, let him or her stay your friend. It's a title, and that's it. Two. Two, the title is an honor, a privilege, and most of all, a duty. And three, you're going to have a lot of responsibilities placed on you. You got to be tough, diligent, and most of all, have fun. Now, without further ado, will the following new officers please stand up as I read your name? And I'll read this in ascending order, by the way. Nicole Geeman.
So surprised.
Patrick Wing. Bianca Reyes. Mary Seibert. Gisilva Naroka. And last but certainly not least, Taylor Weberfield. Wear these badges with pride and honor. Is that it, Mr. Daniel?
Congratulations to all of the newly elected officials. Of course, it is an honor and a point of privilege.
Ladies, gentlemen, congratulations. Awesome year. Please take what we have built and make it stronger. Okay? And always remember, change is good. Always.
Since there was no one to run for Sergeant at Arms, we really do need that position to be filled. Is there anyone here who would like to take up the role and run for Sergeant at Arms? That's what we're going to do. So, Tracy, Catherine, and KK. Okay, so what we're gonna do, everybody has paper in their notebooks, so please pull out a sheet of paper. Okay, so just write in position Carnella, Catherine, and Tracy. We also need a health technology. Is there anybody in health technologies program here? Nobody. What's the other one? Business. Anybody in business?
Public service, engineering.
Okay. Public service and engineering. You're in public service? Oh,
Does that include the sciences?
no, that's the health one.
Public service, engineering is child care, auto body, auto mechanic, surveying technology, civil engineering technology,
Associate science.
architectural technology, and criminal justice. Those are in the public service engineering field.
Those positions need to be filled as well. Is anybody qualified for those?
You could be in, you actually qualify for the representative position. You qualify for that position because you're. Oh, you have to be, you have to involve in Sergeant Arms and help with that one.
In that case, I'll do the business.
Your business?
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll put you in the category of the business administration. And so it's going to be Tracy and Carnella. Okay. I'm going to read the position of the Sergeant at Arms briefly, just so you know what you're running for. The Sergeant at Arms duties is to assist in preserving order as the chair may direct in meetings, ensuring that all furnishings are properly in order for each meeting and that the meeting room has been reserved. Follow up with all absences in regular SGA meetings and bring any violations to the attention of the Executive Council. Perform all other duties assigned by the General Counsel and Executive Council and the President of SGA. Foster a spirit of unity amongst General Counsel and Executive Council committees and student body in general. That is what the job of the Sergeant at Arms is. Carnella and Tracy are going to run for those. We had two people who's going to run for the other ones. So congratulations to you. You win by default. Okay, so if everybody has gone ahead and voted, we'll collect those. We're supposed to pick these up. All newly elected officers, again, congratulations, and let's, I already told you we'll do our inaugurations on the 9th at the SGA picnic, so let's make sure that you are all there at the picnic. Congratulations to Ms. Bianca Reyes, Patrick Wayne, Nicole Heenan, she's old enough, Miss. There is a singer, his name is Justin Nakazuka, and that's why, that's
No,
what you're
it's,
thinking. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
But, no. Congratulations to Ms. Taylor Fields. I'm sure you guys are gonna have an amazing semester next, oh yeah, and Mary, sorry. You guys are gonna have an amazing semester next semester with their leadership. I do apologize if the meeting went a lot longer, but I mean, that's to be expected. We'll wait for the results and then have revisor remarks. Right now, I will have an open floor. So, if there is anything that you want to say, go. Speak.
Wait, thank you. That's all I gotta say.
I just want to say I had a terrific semester with everyone, even though this is my first time in SGA. I really learned a lot from each and every one of you. I don't know. It's cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. But the whole point is, congratulations to the new officers. Like I said, it doesn't matter who win or lost. I just want us to be tight for all. So, since I was trying to get you, congratulations to Dover.
Thank you.
I was trying to tell you,
Yay! And congratulations, guys. I just want to say thank you. Y'all have no idea. Thank you. That's all I can say right now. Check me out.
They want
I'll say something, y'all. But I also want to say, Bianca, you're having an awesome day. Congratulations. I'm blessed. I know that.
All right, no tie. Good. Okay, we'll hear the results by our parliamentarian.
Okay, I'm going to do this quick because one of the candidates isn't here. The following new Sergeant at Arms is Tracy Ann Mitchell.
So there you have it, your new executive board for all semesters. We will now move on to advisory remarks. Ms. Silvers. She never says it, well, that's okay. We love her more and more. Mr. D. All right.
What I would fall out if she got up and just launched into this long, and you would fall out if I didn't say anything. But I think again, elections were conducted very decently and orderly today. There are no losers here. I mean, like in any election, local, state, or federal level, you usually have good quality people that are competing against each other. And the biggest thing is if you didn't get elected or somebody didn't get elected, they're still a person of worth, and we respect them and look forward to their contributions to SGA. And so they do have a lot of responsibility, and like all our leaders, we need to hold them accountable. We look forward to going into the next academic year with them. They will officially assume office the first day of summer school. And our current officers will officially go off the job after classes are over next Wednesday. And what I would encourage each of you to do, that I hope all of you will come to the SGA cookout next Wednesday at 5:30. But I do need to get a count, if you can provide that to our president and vice president. If you're planning on coming, if you're going to bring a guest with you, if you'll give them $5 for your guest, and once they show up, we can give you the money back. If they don't show up, we keep the money. Right? So, seriously, and so we'll have some really good food. But it would certainly be appropriate if you want to roast any of the officers. Very, very appropriate. No, it's not the advisors though, right? We're all of us are fair game, and then if
I would actually say if y'all want to, I will be the roaster for this year. If y'all want to roast me. I'll sit in the hot seat.
But, it's all gotta be in good fun and
Oh, no.
respectful of each other. And, again, but that would also be an appropriate time if you choose to do any kind of awards, that would be appropriate then also.
Location.
Pardon?
That's right.
We're planning on, the plan right now is to here in the faculty dining room and then patio area. So, the last thing I do want to say is, our event for tomorrow night and Friday night is extremely important that everybody be in place on time at the assigned places. And so, I'm hoping, we'll have a really good crowd there Friday night. And be sure to wear your shirts so that the public will identify you as SGA members. And again, when they come to the concerts like this, they in their minds, they're equating what we're doing there as FTCC. So we have to put our best foot forward. So that's all I have to say, Mr. President.
Let's not forget tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll be there. Mary Seibert is going to be making the cupcakes for the African Children's Choir tomorrow. If you don't know where she lives, jot down her phone number. I'm going to be there helping her 7 o'clock make these cupcakes. Travis is going to be there. We've already put in our, that's tonight. Tonight, 7 o'clock. I'm sure she'll appreciate all the help that she can get. Okay? So, for the last time, I will adjourn this meeting at 3:53.